Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Waylander Gaming. It's me, Oshumzi here, and I'm joined by General Cho tonight as we do finish up the most wanted list. This is the final sudden death matches to sort out who's going through to the round of 16 and who are we going to say goodbye to. So, General Cho, what are you looking to see tonight?
Well, first of all, I'm really looking forward to these players right here and see in front of me, especially LV, the number one CU in South Africa right now. He's been a guy that I've been looking at lately, and I've been, interested into his CU. And I'm quite, how can I say? This is gonna be a tough game between those two top one and Exco. Really tough teams, good teams. So I'm not sure who might win, but I'm really, I can't wait for this game to start because I'm really looking forward to this game.
No, definitely. I mean, both teams are very good, and they did very well in their respective group stages during the most wanted list. So I'm very interested to see the respect bands going to come through from both sides. I mean, I assume they did homework on each other's drafts and seeing what's going to happen. I mean, as we know, LV is the number one CU in South Africa, but we also do know Shoeshine is a very good fanny. So we will
Mm,
see
mm,
how that draft goes. But as we do see, top one was first in the lobby, so they do get the heads or tails. They call heads, and it lands on heads. So I'm not biased, and top one gets the first pick.
mm. So what I'm thinking is if Sushan gets the Fanny and then Alvi gets the Studio, that'll be quite interesting because those two players mains those heroes. Suyu for LV, Fanny for Sushan. So if they get those two main heroes, I'm not sure who might win because those two heroes is just broken if you know how to use it. Suyu is aggressive as a level 3, he can jungle fast, he can snowball. Fanny is just broken level 2 with the cables, with the energy, she does damage, she can do anything. So like I said, if those two get those picks, it's gonna be really interesting, especially in
And I
Team
mean,
One.
if both of them get their main heroes, I mean, after all, then it all depends on the team, how they are going to follow
Mm.
up with their main junglers and how they're going to counter the other junglers. I mean, if you pick up the Fanny, you have to keep in mind that there is a Cho, there is a Kufra, there's a lot of counters. So your team needs to play around you with your Fanny.
Yes, that is true. Unless they ban those heroes, of course.
That is also true. So that all depends if they did their homework against one another.
Mm. No, I agree on that. I agree on that.
All right, so we do see top one does have first bands, but I'm waiting for. Okay, let me just kick Arcana Boa. He's sleeping there, not switching over to the correct side. His captain can just re-invite him back. All right, so we do see the first ban of top one going to the Suyu. So no Suyu for LV tonight.
That'll be no fun. I would love to see Albion at CU.
All right, so that's
Well, the good thing
Suyu
is,
and Cecilion. So that is, of course, two of Hexcore's main heroes. I mean, as we know, Leonardo does love picking up the Sicilian, and LV does pick up the Sioux. So that's, of course, definite respect bands coming from the side of top one.
mm, that is true. Then I might as well, ban the Fanny, to get the comfort pick out of the way, so I don't really struggle with the Fanny pick. So it makes the Sushan have to struggle to pick what hero to pick. Like Joy is still broken, Alvi or Sushan can pick it, even Hanzo, even Alpha. It's quite strong jungle still open, like Hayabusa still after the nerf, but he's still strong in my opinion. He is. But to be honest, when have we seen a Roger in the jungle or even a gold lane?
Yeah, it's been a while since
Oh,
we've seen the Roger in the jungle. It's been a while. But as you did say that, I mean, the Fanny and the Brody were both banned out to the side of Hexcore. So both of them respecting the top junglers as
mm,
they, of course, need to do. I mean, both of them are very meta junglers. So uh, with that out of the way, Fanny, Brody, Suyu, Sicilian, as we head into the draft phase. So I'm interested to see what the first bans are going to be from both sides. I mean, so the main comfort picks are taken out from both sides, but there's still a lot of meta heroes you have to watch out for. I mean, there is the Joy, as you said, as it gets banned out by top one.
Yeah, well, as you said, Joy is really strong, especially when I play her. Like I used to main her, well, sort of main her. She's really strong in my opinion, especially when you get that one item, the Stadium Scythe.
Butterfly is
The
born
power
by
of
thy
like
wish,
banning.
guided
that's
by lanterns
broken.
My
light.
mission is
Yeah,
to protect lives.
Is banning.
that's definitely a broken hero. I mean, Zushin and Hylo's also getting banned out. I mean, Zushin is any frontliner and tank's nightmare. Hylo's being the sustained tank frontline. As you know, he's one of the few tanks that can be very aggressive in the early game, putting a lot of pressure on the enemy. The final ban, of course, of Hexcore going to the side of Granger. So that's no death Sonata for anyone tonight. But the first pick of top one going to the side of Hayabusa.
What do you think about the high boost of first pick? Don't you think it's got quite a risky pick since there's like lots of counter picks for him?
Yeah. So Hayabusa is a very good jungler in the current stage, but as you said, there is a lot of counter picks. Balric, of course, if he gets the Wrath of Dryads out before Shusha and the Hayabusa can commit the shadow kill, then he's in a lot of danger. I mean, Alfie also with his Luke is also one of his signature picks. As you know, against the Equilibrium game, he plays a very aggressive early game with Lucas, and he gets a lot of attention away from the gold and keeps the enemy busy. So the Hayabusa first pick can go either way, but it's very, very risky.
That is true. That is true. I played Lucas, and he is strong, still strong after the nerf, and especially in the jungle. But as you can see, the top one picking up the Faza and the Irrital. Faza has been a monster this late, especially in the
No one can
protein.
escape my iron
It's
fist.
like a real
Is
protein
banning.
because he can rotate fast. He does anything that a mage can do. It's like an extra pull.
Let's hear from the crowd. Make some noise
Yeah, that's
for
also
yours
true.
truly.
I mean, that feathered airstrike of hers can make or break any team fight. And I mean, you can also use it to zone any enemies. As we do see the final phase one ban of Hexcore going to Badang. Badang, even after the nerf, still something to be
Where
reckoned
there
with.
is
I mean,
light,
you have to
there
watch
are
out for that.
also
He can
shadows.
first crack anyone, especially Hayabusa. Demon Slayer picking up the Lu Yi. So Lu Yi is a very, very good hero if you have the correct team to follow up with it.
That is true. Look what they have about Dang, Lucas, and Bowring. Just instant follow up of the Louis. But what can counter the
Always
Louis?
on the way.
Look at what you have in Matilda. Do you think it's the right pick against this aggressive comp that they have?
So Matilda is not a bad pick, but with the Terizla, I'm not sure about that. I mean, Terizla wants a set composition, a set roam like a Tigreal, maybe even a Balric, Atlas, something like that to follow up with his penalty zone. But Matilda is also very good in the fact that she can keep players safe. So if there is an engagement and they survive, she can just Matilda airways and then they're out of it. But I'm loving this final pick of the side of Hexcore, the Matilda. So with the Badang, Lucas, Balric, all of them are very frontline based heroes. So they needed something that can melt down the enemies while they keep them busy. So I'm loving the draft of Hexcore. That's my favorite draft currently. So I do favor them, but you can't count anyone else. So what would you say?
Now, I would agree on that. But the comp is all about, if you remember, 70% is about the comp, but 30% is all about the gameplay and the skills, how you play on a battlefield. So if you can't abuse the comp how it should be abused, then you won't win the game. No matter
Oh,
what comp you have, if you don't know how to use the comp, then you automatically lose the game. So I'm
that's
expecting
definitely true.
uh, I'm expecting from top one squad to play a bit more from the safer side because they have like I said, like you said, X have aggressive tank comp damage. So if top one plays it too aggressive in the wrong time, they will lose the early game. So playing safe farm, pickoffs, camp, I think might be the best option.
And another thing we have to watch out is the top one currently has a very high ability to re-engage. So if the Hex Core commits all their ultimates, and then of course nothing goes through, we don't get any pick-offs, then top one has the ability to re-engage and get the damage with a feathered airstrike Badang against a Badang. I mean, we have the Drizla in the penalty zone. But as we start the match, we do see both sides starting on the blue and red buff respectively, both rotating to the side of the gold. As we do know, that is the most common rotation in the South African server.
That is true. That is true. That is true. You barely see like any new rotation. But as you can see, just getting a little poke on the body. You might see for my particular little large version of down. Look at the
But we do, of course, it's very important to get the poke on. I mean, this Balric is half health, but he has an early sustainability. And Matilda, of course, not being very tanky in the early game, so they have to get the positioning correct. But, of course, Alfie currently on the Lucas, he did make the mistake. His red buff did reset, so that gives the opportunity for top one to get the engage onto the gold. And as we do see, the Faza and the Matilda trying to poke out there, getting the Melissa down to half health, Melissa re-engaging. The Revitalize has been popped, and we do see Shushan with a higher booster. First blood to the side of top one.
That was a pretty good engagement from Hayabusa. But he just went in directly. And look at him. Look at the range of the ult. That's so much damage.
So Lucas on the Unleash the Beast form with that ultimate blast has a lot of damage and a lot of range in the early game. So that's something you always have to watch out for if you are low. But with that, both teams do disengage and they do grip around the turtle. The turtle being up already for 8 seconds. So we do see, of course, both teams not currently in position as of yet. Alvi does go for his blue buff, but we do see top one currently trying to zone the turtle rotated to their side while they're waiting for the team setup. Both teams here currently just poking at each other. But Dung goes out with a flicker. First crack, not against the wall, but we do see Alvi securing the turtle. Nightshade goes in with the Terizla. Beautiful engagement from both teams, as you do see, but Dung also being taken out. So that is a 2-for-0 exchange. They did get the turtle, but at what cost? But we do see, of course, now Hexor just taking back, going back to farming. This Matilda and Faza combination is also very good. I mean, Faza can commit a feathered airstrike whenever she wants, and knowing that Matilda is there to reposition her if she does get out of position with that Matilda airwaves.
Yeah, but how about that team fight from that turtle? What do you think about the nice team fight, I'll say, from the res last night and everything? The nice set just changed the whole course of the early game.
Yeah, it was a beautiful set from the Tillers. I mean, he knew exactly when to engage. After that Dung engaged, he went for the counter engage on the backline, and that gives the opportunity to go for that turtle. And we do see this Lucas engaging onto the Matilda, circling Eagle going down, but not enough. And Lucas going down, but we do see the feathered airstrike committed from the side of Faza, taking down the marksman in response. And we do see both teams are disengaging. I mean, a roam for a marksman, that's an exchange I would take any day.
That is true, but in the exchange, Teresa is taking 1 HP. But keeps while recalling. Jason,
beautiful. That was beautiful, beautiful. I mean,
wow, what a team fight. Faza's not a hero you don't want to mess with. Faza's not a hero you don't want to mess with. She has that range and burst. She can kill you from far away.
Yeah, that's very important. I mean, that's what makes Faza such a very good competitor in the current meta. I mean, she has the range on the ult, she has the mobility with a very buff, and that's everything she wants in a team fight. I mean, she's able to go for the back line, to zone out the enemy. I mean, that's everything you want. But we do see this Matilda currently a little bit out of position here, just scouting out for the enemy, poking out. Both teams does set up here the turtle, but we did see Terizla rotating the turtle, giving but the full lane control. So that's a good rotation to make or not?
It is. Look at the turtle from top 1. Exo can contest it. And then a free turret from next lane, the down just pushing it. Wow. One turtle was changed for one turtle from next lane.
And we did see Hayabusa committing this shadow kill on the mid lane, but just not enough damage to take out Louis yet. I mean, both teams are playing a very back and forth game. There's only currently a 2k gold lead to the side of top 1. And Badang here in the XP lane getting engaged on feathered airstrike. Matilda Airways all the way back with the circling eagle. The Rizla hasn't yet got his ult back, so he's in a lot of danger, overstaying his welcome. First crack under the turret. He's one shot and just not enough damage to finish that off. I mean, as soon as this Louis with a yin-yang combination comes online, there's going to be a lot more issues for the side of top 1. But are they going to let that happen? That's another question.
But look at the engagement on gold lane. Ooh, every time Melissa engagement, the gold meter pass is just went off on Melissa. This might be a risky play from Melissa, trying to play an overextend since he has no shield or no gold meter to save it. But he still has some fire though to save a little bit to get that extra healing which he needs.
It's also very important, but we do see a lot of attention here on the gold lane, but we do see there's Hayabusa just rotating once again to the mid lane, going for the shadows. We did Louis with a clutch flicker backing under the turret, so that's another escape from the Hayabusa's clutches. But of course, yeah, in the top lane, this Lucas is in a very good position as well. But Matilda Airways just not being able to reach that Lucas.
This might be a free turtle once again. But let's just look at the stuff is breaking.
Rattle Drive goes out. We do see the feathered airstrike. Also, Matilda Airways all the way down with the circling eagle. Hayabusa. So that is a beautiful 2-for-nothing exchange at the side of top 1, and also securing the neutral objective, keeping the aggression, clearing out the entire jungle for the side of the Hex score. I'm liking Shushan on this Hayabusa. The mobility, fast fingers, that's something I've never been able to master. I can play Hayabusa to an degree, but that fast fingers in and out is something I can't do.
When it comes to using, especially his second skill, which probably
That's very, very beautiful. I mean, both teams are playing a very aggressive game. Top 1 currently having the lead. As we do see another engagement here, Badang getting engaged on by the Faza. Feathered airside going down, but just not enough damage. But there comes the Hayabusa. And that's just the first kill, not even the shadow kill. They didn't have the shadow kill yet. But that's the thing with the Hayabusa. You have to always watch out, because he can come out of nowhere and finish you off, especially if you're squishy like a marksman or especially a mage. You always have to watch out. But currently for the side of Hex score, I'm looking to see them play a little bit more defensively around the Balric, not going against any fights that the Balric is not involved in. I mean, you need the Balric to cancel the ults and disrupt the teammates for you to win a team fight.
That is true. Balric is a very nice counter engage. As I'll step in for General Cho just for a little bit. We're just gonna get him to get some technical difficulties with the mic. Sometimes happens. But Shumzi, Lord is up.
Yeah, Lord is up, and both teams just currently taking the farm, just getting set up. Balric already in position, but that's a 4v1 situation. So I'm looking to see top one just keeping the pressure on, zoning the enemies with the Terizla and the Matilda, while this is a free Lord for the side of top one.
Yeah, Xcore picking up quite a nice gold lead at this moment in time. It's about 5k. They are zoning in quite good positions right now, so it should be an uncontested Lord.
Another engagement here on the mid lane. There is 4 players to the side of top one currently in position, but Xcore knows, penalty zone with a flicker in. Matilda committing the circling eagle, but just not enough damage, as we do see this Irithal coming into the mix, but getting melted by the Lucas as well. Feathered airstrike coming out, taking down the beautiful first crack from Brovdang, but just not enough damage to the side of Xcore. That was a beautiful follow-up. But as I said, this Melissa goes in 1v4 and gets takes down. Well, she takes down the Matilda, but gets taken down by the shadow kill of the higher booster. This is very beautiful game from the side of Xcore and top one.
Yeah, right now Hex Squad, their objective would be to try to get those shields popped up and maybe get close to doing some damage on the tier 3 turrets, hopefully. That will be the case here. The Lord is going to be prevented from getting in towards the base right now. I think just the tier 3 turrets should be standing. Without the marksman, that was the real loss for the side of Hex Core, is losing the marksman.
I mean, without a marksman, that's a main wave clear ability to the side of X-Core. So without that Melissa, they don't have the capacity to initiate team fight. She's the only early game damage they have on their side, because Lucas is struggling to get into the backline with the Matilda and of course, the Rizla zoning.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So now it's going to be a bit of a patience game. We will expect Hexcore to try to look for a few pickups. It would be nice if they try to freeze the wave. We see Hayabusa going in there with that second skill. Guiding Winds already out from the Matilda, as we're just watching Belleric frontline for his team. Wants to create a bit of space, but see this wave pushing in from the side of Hexcore is going to give top one the opportunity to get gold back. It's one of the things that you don't want to do when you're in a winning position, and it's not time to take the Lord yet.
You want to keep the waves frozen in the mid, so that the X-Core doesn't have the ability to get the gold back. They need to get back into the game. I mean, that's the best way, is to just freeze in mid lane, just wait for the Lord to come out. I mean, 6 seconds till the next Lord.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. It's quite a bit of time.
I mean, 36 seconds is an eternity in Mobile Legends. I mean, we know how long 5 seconds last, and now imagine 36.
Yeah, that's because all the Mobile Legends players have ADHD. That's why. It's a long time. No patience.
Yeah, I myself do have. But yeah, the Lord finally goes up, and we do see top one already in position. X-Core not currently have the ability to contest the Lord, so there's going to be another uncontested Lord to the side of top one. But this Matilda doing a beautiful job of just keeping X-Core in bay, not letting them have any idea of escaping the base.
Yeah, true. Very true. The zoning being done quite nicely there. Matilda, if we just check her build, I think she should have the Flask of Oasis up. Maybe even an Oracle along with that.
Flask of Oasis, and she does have the book.
Okay. Going for the standard build. I do like to throw in an Oracle in there, especially if you're going to be the secondary frontline. Because you've only got Terizla as your frontline. It just gives that little bit of extra cover. But that Flask of Oasis is a must on a Matilda.
Yeah, always. Matilda and Angela, both of them need the Flask of Oasis first item. But, of course, the waves currently for the side of top one, not exactly synced up. Bot lane being defended, but Flicker penalty zone up into the back line. We do see the Feathered Airstrike and the Matilda Airways following up. We do see that the 3-for-nothing is changed to the side of top one. Lucas going in solo, but getting melted down. So that might have been a very beautiful play from this Terizla, getting the team locked up for his team to follow up. And this just might be game, set, and match, as we do see Feathered Air strike for the final kill on the Badang. Next is the open. That is game, set, and match.
Okay, so that was well done to Hexcore. General Cho, let's just test your mic and see if it's working. Shumzi, you can invite me into the lobby. I'll do the camera work from here.
I'm not sure if my mic is still working. Like, is it better? Yes, no? Is it fine?
Yeah, now it's fine. Just in the game.
Yeah, So, because what I was trying to do is, right, using headphones, and everything doesn't make a difference, but I did put off the stream volume, so maybe that will make a difference.
It will. You drop the stream volume, it does help. So, Shumzi, I'll share screen here so the two of you can see. Hopefully the mics will be excellent and we can get me into the lobby. Or should I create the lobby?
Lobby is created. Let me just invite you there. Okay, sure. Okay, you're invited.
Hey, I got an invite for once in my life. Oh, somebody wants me somewhere.
Okay, let me just get this ref of inside of the match. And let me just move up.
Oh, we have Saint Dynasty in the next matchup.
Saint Dynasty. I always love to see Saint Dynasty in a match. I mean, last night we did see a few matches against Equilibrium. A few test matches. Both teams did very well, but Equilibrium, after all, just securing the win and just keeping their position as a top squad in SA. But you can't count Saint Dynasty out just yet. They have a very, very strong team. And I mean, Khan as a whole is one of the best junglers in the server.
So, General Cho, who do you think is the danger man here for the side of Saint Dynasty?
Well, I've played against them a lot. When I mean a lot, I mean a lot. And from my experience, I've struggled the most against not Khan, not Joe, not people you think, but Mimic.
Yeah.
His XP lane is broken, especially when he goes Arlot. He just, like, he's broken with that guy. Arlot, you don't need maybe. That guy gave me really a problem.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, the final slash of the Arlot on the Mimic is deadly. And, I mean, if he plays the Arlot, he knows the backline is his to take. He does have Stone on the front line. Stone also being a very, very good team to have.
Yeah, I think Mimic is one of the few players I've seen on our server who consistently lands that flicker final slash on the Arlot.
I mean, out of nowhere, you get final slashed, and then that can be game changing. I mean, not a lot of people is able to do that. I myself haven't done that before.
But you know what General Cho will be looking for? He'll be looking for who's going to be picking up Cho. You'll see how he'll get all excited now.
I'm excited to see some freestyles, you know? Because I haven't seen Cho actually. Wait, question. When was the last time you see a Cho in a tournament? In this tournament or even the last few streams?
Today.
Earlier today. that shows me you weren't in the live chat because it was shown twice earlier. It was twice today.
I wasn't watching. I wasn't watching.
Cease.
I missed out.
Alright, so we're just waiting for Team B Savage to fill into the lobby.
Okay, they are ready then in the lobby. As we do see, of course, Saint Dynasty being first in the lobby, so they do have the call on heads or tails.
What squad is this? The Saint Dynasty and?
Team B Savage. They're a newly formed Madagascan team. They have, since they've been formed, tried to gotten themselves into as many tournaments as they possibly can.
I mean, the experience of a team is very important.
It's not just the experience of individual players, it's the experience as a team.
I mean, especially if you're new to the five-man scene.
I haven't seen any of these people from the right side, the Team Savage. I haven't seen one of them in either of my matches we're watching. So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, they could surprise you.
But I haven't seen Saint Dynasty in such a long time, in a tournament, because I've been really watching the newest live streams.
Yeah, so of
Oh,
course,
please.
St. Dynasty is only recently reformed. They did rebrand the squad, and with the new members, they did make quite an impression with the first few matches in the most wanted list.
Well, let's just say this might be the comeback of Saint Dynasty.
Yeah.
That's something I look
The
forward
rise-
to.
Saint Dynasty versus Equilibrium. A
So-
real proper best of 5.
But we do see, of course, in Dynasty winning the heads or tails, calling tails, and tails it is. Tails never fails. And they do have the choice to go left or right, but they, of course, will pick left. I mean, you always want the first pick, mostly wants the first pick of the draft. So we do see they also have the first bans. So I'm looking to see a few respect bans coming out from the side of Team B Savage. We know Con is a very deadly on most assassins. I mean, Stoner is one of he's top SA with both Hylos and the Get a Catcher.
That is true. That is true. He plays Hylos really, really aggressive. But question, how's Chip lately? I've seen after the buff ones, the recent adjustments to his alt and passive. Is he still meta or is he fell off?
Yeah, he's
Because
broken.
I haven't seen Chip.
He's broken now.
yeah. So Chip is after the revamp on his passive. So you in the previous patches you need to stand on one of the portals to be able to teleport to another one. Now from anywhere on the map, as long as he's not in battle, you can just teleport. So that is instant re-engagement, and they did buff his first skill damage as well. So he's definitely back into the meta. But we haven't seen any South African teams outside of Equilibrium picking them up.
Chip is a really strong roam at this point because he can frontline, he can give vision, he can dart the backline with portals and camp in your jungle without you knowing. You think you're safe, and the next moment you just see guy in a eating chips, and you just come outside the bush and just portal next to you, and everyone, all Equilibrium teams is just on top of you.
Yeah, that's also true. But we do see the lobby bans coming out from both teams. So there is, of course, Balric and Badang being banned out from Saint Dynasty, and Fanny and Hayabisha being banned out from sign of Team B Savage. So that's also very interesting. But yeah, this is very interesting. Okay. So, so what did you say about that one?
Where are we going? We're going. Just as long as we don't show any advertising, we should be good.
Oh, but that's nice. That's good.
Man, I love tournament lobbies because you can use anything you want there. Any skins,
You're only there for
any
the
hero.
skins. That's all you're there for. You see what the first thing he said there, Shumsi? You can use any skin, any hero, as if he was thinking about any hero. What he was thinking about was any skin.
Any skin. Yeah, but I mean, you can do any hero. If I'm not mistaken, you also do have max the preparation, what do you call it? The emblems. You have max emblems as well, if I'm not mistaken.
But don't get me wrong, it's a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling.
Yeah. Having the
Because-
experience in the tournament lobbies, always good.
Yeah, and plus the time of the cooldown, how long you can pick, the drafting, the banning phase, and everything is just an extra 20 seconds. And you have enough time to discuss what you want to ban, what you want to pick. That's why I love tournament lobbies, because it's just so intense. Because now you have to pick, okay, now I have enough time who to pick and who to ban.
But that also makes a big difference. Another big difference is as well, of course, the fact that we have the real bans. I mean, in our system, we have 4 bans, and then we move over to the draft, where here it's the correct way of 3 bans, draft, 2 bans, draft. So that
Yeah.
also makes a very big difference.
Yes, that flow in the banning phase does make a big difference. Also, we're just gonna wait for our ref, Lotus, as we see Super Shady saying, "Where's the enemies?" I don't know how he's got enemies over here. He's in the spectators lobby. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me, Shrugsy, what enemies he's referring to.
I don't know. It's, he might think it's a world against Shady. I don't know, but I myself, I like to play Shady very, very much. I mean, he's a very good player, and he's currently the best player. Second best player in Equilibrium. The best player, from my point of view, is of course Velocity.
Well, I will say this, right? It was the entire squad of Equilibrium who featured for Team South Africa. There was, me being the person who actually cast all their games, there was MVPs all across the board. Lindo picked up a few, Shady picked up a few, Juju picked up a few, Super Light as well, Velocity the same. So they've got a good collection of players in there. They're getting their synergy, they're getting their game going, and proving to be very, very strong. They had an ultra dominant run through. I mean, from the very first game to the last, there was, I think, just one match where things went a little bit iffy for them. But other than that, you just expected them to stomp all the way through. They must have set a record for the number of games that they won in under 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, they did very well, taking the national team trials in a clean sweep, and this test match series also. They had a clean sweep all the way through.
That's true. But Saint Dynasty are no slouches either. They've been hammering teams in the rank situations recently. I've been seeing quite a few screenshots of what's going on because, well, even if I'm not getting to play, I still get the screenshot. So first pick will be
Saint Dynasty.
Saint Dynasty.
Yes.
Alright, so that's enough talking from the old man. Let me hand you to the two young gentlemen here. The two handsome young gentlemen. One is taken, one is not taken. I will let you guys in the stream guess who's the taken and who's not the taken, and they will take us through the banning phase.
Thanks, Wade. But we do see heading to the banning phase. So St. Joe with the first ban to the side of St. Dynasty. We did see them previously ban out the Bedang and Balrik, but the bans might change due to them having only 3 bans instead of 4 bans. So it changed the whole directive of where the ban is going.
No one can escape
That is true. But what I'm thinking is that Joe might be picking off in his gold lane, because since he is a gold lane main, he might pick the Harif. His Harif is quite strong, not gonna lie. The Harif at this point is like, even though he got nerf or anything, in my opinion, he's like one of the best marksmen in the gold lane, in my opinion.
Yeah, both Harif and Granger are both first pick contenders in my. That's only two I would allow my team to first pick in any draft. If you pick Harith or if you pick Granger, otherwise you don't first pick as a marksman. But of course, the first bans coming out, we do see the Bedang and the Balry coming out to the side of St. Dynasty, and Team B Savage banning out that Fanny. So of course I did watch, of course, Con previously on the Fanny. He's not a bad Fanny. I haven't seen as many matches on the Fanny, but I know he loves the joy, he loves his assassins overall. Hayabusa, the second ban for the side of Team Beast Savage.
So it looks like they are target banning, respect banning Con at this point. Like you said, Con is really good for becoming an assassin in the jungle. He is good. But you guys also realize he loves playing the Suyu and the Joy. He plays really aggressive with those heroes.
Let's fight to our
And both are very popular in both the South African and professional scenes. The final bans, of course, coming out to the side of Zushin and Lucas. So these are very, I would say, mostly meta bans, except for the Balrik. That is definitely a comfort ban, so they don't want to play against the Balrik, so they want to ban it out. But of course, Con picking up the Granger. So that might be then a Granger in gold lane. Sorry, Granger in the jungle, I mean.
When was the last time we saw Con with Granger? I haven't seen it in such a long time.
Since the previous patch where they did nerf Granger a bit, since then I haven't seen him on the Granger yet. But of course, Team B Savage first picks to the side of Cecilian and Julian. So both these heroes are very good in their respective manners. Cecilian having the late game damage capability as well as the sanguine claws being able to displace whole teams. And Lucas, as we know, he's just all around everything you want in a jungler.
But here we see a clear pick. Kalia at this point is a new hero, right? Now I understand. But Munton must be out of the mind for adding this hero. And it makes no sense. It's like a mixture of Kadita, Badang, Atlas, Tiger or whatnot. Like, she's broken.
And I mean that Tsunami Slam of hers, that is game changing. If you get the correct hero locked down, that can change the whole team fight, start the pick off, start team fight. That's everything you want in hero all at one. But we do see they decided to go against picking up the Kalia currently, picking up the Benedetta on XP lane and the Cyclops mid. And Hyken finish up the phase 1 draft for the side of Team B Savage with the Gatta catch-up. So this might be a Gatta either in the XP lane or roam. We don't know as of yet because he's a very, very versatile hero.
It's a nice flex pick to have.
It's very, very nice flex pick.
Time to drop the beat of the
Yes, that is true. It's a strong pick after a nerf, but in my opinion, it's still very strong as a roamer or as an XP. It's just that tanky and annoying, especially when his second skill and his passive combined together. Can't really do much to him.
Yeah, and also another reason why it's currently better is we currently in the revitalized meta. So any roamer that's able to not be dependent on Flicker, so you can either have Flicker, Revitalize, or the Vengeance, is a very good roam to have in my opinion.
That is true. But
of course,
I think he's a second engagement because his ult is quite slow, especially when they have mobility, in an enemy team. So they must have initiator. Gato is a second initiator or a counter initiator. Because when Gato goes in first, they have time to dash out or move away from his ult. To jump. So they need like an extra or TC, throw up like a Tigreal or Badang or Khalid, something like that. Like the instant save. Gato can just follow up.
Yeah, that's also true. So you need something that's able to frontline, and then Gato can either jump on the team or jump on the backline. So he's very versatile. But the final bans of the draft phasing going Sun Dynasty focusing on the marksman bans, banning out the Brody and the Irithel. And Team B Savage focusing still all 5 bans on the jungle, with the final bans being Suyu and Joy. So if Con switches out the Granger and gives that to Joe, what do you think he will pick up?
My mission is to protect
Like you said, Arif. Arif is open. That's my one.
But in this case, I mean, both Gatu and the Hylos is both out to the side of Team B Savage. So that's 2 of Stoner's main heroes going out of their clutches.
Yeah, then Stoner might have to go for Joy. I was about to say the Joy. Joy right now, as we can see, it's still broken as a roamer, especially with a nice mage or nice follow-up like Novaria or Faza or Vixana even. Like something on combo of Joy is just broken. Joy is like one of the best roamers to pick. You can't miss it.
It's very good, but I just wanted to say they need a bit more frontline, because Mimic being on the Benedetta, they need frontline to be able to frontline with the Droid, because Droid is very good for pickoffs, but after that pickoff is done, he's out of there. So he needs like 3 or 4 items for him to be able to sustain through a little bit. But we do see Joe pick up the Ruby, so this might be Ruby gold lane again.
Yeah, when was the last time we saw a Ruby in a gold lane actually?
Not after, because she had the nerf on her passive, so she doesn't stack defense as easily. So it's been a while.
That is true. But what about an Edith? Edith is still strong. in my opinion. Because she has that initiating, she has damage, she has that tanky, like, you know, she's that tank marksman. Mixture of magic damage. I think it might be one of those picks, you know, one of those situational picks, you know, it's an extra initiator.
Yeah, I'll also agree on that one. I mean, she's a very good initiator, but with them needing a gold liner, Ruby is currently one of the best options if you need a frontliner. Because, I mean, Edith is very good, but she dies to Melissa. She doesn't have the mobility to get away. It's only a second skill. If she gets commits a second skill and doesn't land the full combo, then she gets melted.
That is true. That is true.
But with that, we do head into the match.
Con picking up the Granger jungle. With that nice
very
legend
interesting.
As you can see, both junglers starting the same buff next to Turtle, as usual, the South African style. Both junglers doesn't seem to use the retribution from the start of the early game. But as you all know, Julian has the upper advantage when it comes to the level 1 jungle clearance. Both the Droid and the Granger in the jungle, it's a bit faster because of the Droid's first skill damage.
So that also gives him an opportunity to rotate.
As you can see, a Stoner and the Cyclops already camping for the Lifo. Just look at the damage, already almost more than half HP gone from the Droid, just his first skill. That's
Joy very good in the early game. I mean, Joy is one of the few heroes that has a lot of early game damage. I mean, even if you just build tank build on him, he still has a lot of ability to go in the early game. But as I did say that, there's a full team fight on the blue buff. Joy gets taken down, but that's another 2 down to the side of Team B Savage, securing the blue buff and clearing the rest of the jungle. So that's a 2-for-1 exchange on the 1 minute mark.
But we might see a gold lane gank, since, you know, all of them died, they couldn't really contest. And Con is on the level 4 of the Granger and has that burst to burst down the Melissa.
But we do see a bit poking here, but the Julian and the Cyclops just going at each other. Droid gets taken down, but we do see the follow-up on this. Julian gets taken down by the Depth Sonata. So that's once again a 1-for-1 exchange. So it's a very back and forth currently, with Con having the upper hand in the jungle, but of course you can't count out Julian yet.
Yes, that is true. As we can see, Con on the Granger is already level 5, almost level 6 for the first turtle, and Julian is still stuck at level 3. So we might see maybe a free turtle for Saint Dynasty, or we might see a back and forth 50-50, you know, for the team of Team B Savage, because they have the Gato and the Julian and the Hylos to CC the Granger.
That's also true. I mean, we do see the engagement here, and the Gato with the Avatar of Guardian not landing, but we do see, of course, Stoner in a lot of danger, going down, but Benedetta taking 2 back in response. So this Julian is not having a lack of time, but Gato continuing the engagement and falls to the hands of Con.
Getting that free kills in the first team fight at Turtle. And it was Con going in all for the kills to Ceiling, but managed to escape with barely much HP. But that first team fight with Turtle was quite intense because, you know, Joy somehow managed to steal the Turtle with one of his passives. And then as you can see, Con managed to retrieve his purple buff and managed to get the buff. But the Golden is getting lots of pressure due to the lots of ganking and putting pressure on the Melissa. And ganking the Golden first, especially with the marksman that Inspire, it's like it's an easy pick-off. Because what's gonna save you if Inspire if you have no Inspire? You need some of what, like, you know, defense or flicker or purify to help you at least escape. If you're going for Inspire, you have to at least get that bit of extra defense, one of your items, you know, to get that extra sustain.
Beautiful engagement from the Ruby. Go away, but taking out the Hylos. So do see Con continuing the engagement with a triple kill. So this Con, the Granger, even though we haven't seen him play Granger a lot, is quite deadly. And I mean, the go away from the Melissa just not saving herself. I mean, that average Joe I haven't seen him play Ruby since the redraft, and I mean, he's one of the few players. Usually, when players hit the Ruby, they miss the ultimate a lot. But I mean, that I'm offended it can be game changing in the right hands.
Perhaps you can see this engagement on the enemy jungle, and Mimic gets that punishment for trying to invade. But here we can't do the damage, the Granger damage, with the godlike skill. And then Con just going straight for Sicilian and get that extra kill. Oh, but Sicilian tries to figure out and escapes. But here we can see Gata gets a pick off on the Joyhead. And Gata is just chasing down the side boots.
But of course, overextending, going for the kills, then he's going to get punished as the Benedetta. I love a Benedetta in the XP lane. I mean, she does a lot of damage and has the mobility to get in, get damage, and get out.
As we can see, Pong coming in with another invasion. Not using Red Key, but here comes the team fight happening again. Ruby comes in with the flicker ult and managed to get that 3-man ult set there. What a nice set from the Ruby there.
Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, the Ruby ult can make or break a team fight. I mean, as if you Ruby ult, along with that, you maybe throw a Joy at second skill, and that's damage. I mean, along with the Ruby, you put the Benedetta that has a lot of burst damage if you get them up in a group. But we do see the Get a Catcher with the Avatar of Guardian defensively, as we do see some Dynasty going into the red buff. We do see Julian committing his skills, Con getting a lot of damage, but Benedetta coming in and getting taken down was a Julian and the Gatto. So that's a 2-4, nothing is changed to the side of St. Dynasty.
And Con is already at level 11, but you get an engagement in the turret, getting the pick off on the Hylos, but Sicilian won't escape even using the Purify. Oh, it doesn't have Purify, my bad, it has Flicker. But in engagement, you can't do anything. They have so much lockdown on you. The Cyclops, the Ruby, the Joyhead, you can't do anything. Here we can see they're pushing the mid lane quite hard. And Gata is just sustaining, but managed to sustain everything and just get punished due to Con on the Granger.
This actually shows a lot. If you're able to burst down the Gatto, then that just shows the amount of damage. But Con finally getting caught out of position. Glorious Pathway getting committed, as well as the Bat Feast. Con getting deleted. The shutdown kill is something that definitely the Team B Savage needs. But even after that, St. Dynasty just still keeping the pressure, taking down the tier 2 turret in the mid lane. And there might be another tier 2 in the top lane as well.
But I think Con got a bit of that eagerness in his mind, because he was so strong and fed. So he got more extra aggression in his mind, and he took it, and then he got punished.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes
the thing.
In a wrong way, being alone, then it's gonna be risky. You can get punished, especially when you're playing a squishy hero like a Granger.
So the Granger position is very important. That's why I don't see him in the jungle as often yet. Because with a lot of lockdown potential, if he gets caught out of position, he's down for the count. We do see Cyclops committing the ult onto the Hylos. Ruby also committing the I'm offended, but not having enough damage. So that's 3 ults out and no kills. Very good zoning, as we do see the Lord getting spawned out.
And they just melting down the Lord like it's nothing.
I mean, Cyclops does have the consecrated energy as well, so the life still keeps him alive, so he can frontline the Lord with no problem at all.
That is true. It's already 8 minutes in the game. Lord's been up. All the lanes has been pushed, being pressured. Everyone's still in the jungle. This might be, if they can manage to defend this, they might, but they might lose 1 or 2 turrets, at least.
So the top of the bot lane, both still having all these shields up, only the mid lane, so they're going to have to put all the pressure on this mid lane and force it out, because, I mean, the holy shields can melt down a lot of waves. But both teams setting up this mid fight. Do you see skills flying left, right, and center? Mid tower go down even before the Lord got there. Joyd into the backline, and he throws his skill out. Avatar got it, not landing, so that's a 2 kill down. We do see, of course, the ceiling getting hurt, Melissa getting melted down. That is, both teams are falling left, right, and center. The Scon doing a massive amount of damage. The Celion is still there, but is he enough? Oh, Mimic goes down to the Sicilian, so that's only Sicilian left. And with Sicilian down, that is game, set, and match.
GG for both teams. Saint Dynasty versus Team B Savage. Wow.
That was beautiful.
Like you said,
Beautiful from both teams.
it was. As you said, you can't mess with a Joyd Roma, especially in the early game. His damage, his rotation, like the stuff he can do, especially against the aggressiveness, the tanky Roma, like a high loss, can't really do much when you have a Joyd as a Roma and with a mage that can follow up.
And I mean, especially. And especially on top of that, also with a Benedetta, so the Melissa, even with her ult to go away, if Benedetta commits her ult, she will be down for the count. I mean, that doesn't take away Benedetta's ult at all. So it's a very good team from both games, but St. Dynasty just showing their dominance, and Con, of course, receiving the much-deserved MVP.
It was a long time we see a Granger in a jungle. Like last time I see a Granger in a jungle from my gameplay experience was like I think at least a month or two ago. Because Granger right now after a nerf is not so strong in the jungle anymore because of his lack of, mobility. Like he has lots of mobility, but without his second skill, he can't really do much after the nerf. That's why Golden is really strong, because he has flicker, he has mobility, he can stand, build up his stacks, do everything. But Granger in the jungle can still do, if not to use him.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see it in the live matches as much, but of course, I do see in 5-man, there are a few players that, of course, does pick up the Granger. I mean, one of them being Johan. So Johan, of course, previous member of Crimson, he did create his own squad now, but he's also a very potent Granger. And Overgrid, also being a Granger jungle main.
Oh. Yeah, but Crimson Titans at this point is still, is really strong, since they have that mage, the XP laner, everything. They have everything that they need. Strong picks, strong heroes, strong players, really knowledgeable players you can't really mess with. Crimson
Very
Titans,
important.
Take Dynasty, Exodus, lots of strong people in those squad.
So that's also very important. But currently, we're going to see now the next match coming up. This is Cavaliers Y versus Khakis. So this is going to be a very interesting match because they did face each other in the group stages. And the previous game, we did see Khakis giving a dominating performance over Cavaliers Y, taking the W. But with this being a sudden death match, do you think it will change how they play?
It might, depending on what happened last time. The picks might change, the draft might change, the bans, everything. So it all depends on how they play in the game.
That's also very important.
The
But of course,
the prediction is really, really important. If you know they're gonna gain gold lane, what will they do? Return back to the mid lane, or will they take the safe way? So can he camp them out, or can he not? It's all about prediction.
It's all about prediction. It's all about the team. I mean, it is a 5v5 team-based sport. So anything can happen depending on the draft. But of course, we do see Cavaliers going to the side of the heads or tails. They call, of course, it. Let me see how it lands. So it does land on heads once again. So heads it is, and Cavaliers did win the coin toss. So they, of course, do have left or right.
Just by looking at this team, I don't really know any of these players actually. Who do you think is going to be the best, or not the best, but the most threatened player not to mess with in just both teams? Who do you think they need to ban?
So with my previous experience, we did see Khakis having a dominant performance the previous time. They did in the group stages. They had the CC full damage build, and she got 4 maniacs in one match. So that might be something to watch out for if you are Cavs. But also, once again, Cavs. I mean, Matador's a very good player. We do know they like to pick up the Sicilian as well, having a dominating performance with that as well in the previous games.
Well, I understand that. So CC is still broken as always, even though she got nerfed. Buff doesn't matter. No, she did got buff, I think. She's hella strong in X-Plane. She's hard to 1v1. She's hard to beat. Her damage, her sustain is just something else. So I would respectfully ban that hero. I don't want to struggle with that.
Yeah, definitely. But of course, we do see the Cavaliers going for the side of Zushin and Hylos, and Kaki's banning out the Louis and the Balri. So these are very, very good bans from both sides. I mean, Zushin and Hylos are a deadly combo if you see it in their eyes. But once again, Louis, that diversion plays are crazy. I mean, you can never know where they go, where it come from, where it go, where it come from. Cut now, Joe.
Yeah, and we do see Bautic ban again. Tonight there's been lots of Bautic bans left and right.
Balri being hated.
I think after he got that skin, nobody really likes him, or people just stop playing with him more often.
Yeah, that's also true. But as we do head into the ban phase, Anik from Cavs having the first ban, banning out the Alpha. So this might be definitely the respect ban. I mean, Alpha is not something you see usual bans, but definitely if it gets played well, I mean, a few times in the streams today, we did see the Alpha being banned out for the side of Team Zimbabwe as well.
But as you can see here, people banning out the Sicilian. Sicilian is a mage. What do you think, Surubzi? Is he still like bannable, like still in the banning, that phase? Like a strong mage? In my opinion, he is after, how can I revitalize, what do you call it? Meta. Sicilian of that sustain is broken, especially when he gets built up his stacks.
Yeah, so Sicilian definitely still a meta contender. I myself not a fan of banning the Sicilian, but rather pick him up. But I mean, if you second pick, they play Sicilian, rather ban it than not have it. But yeah, it's either or. I mean, he can get countered by a close-up hero like the Hayabusa, or even the Hanzo getting chased down. But of course, the Hayabusa being banned out, as well as the Joy and Cavs getting the Suyu as the first pick.
Oh, I love seeing a Suyu in a game. It's one of my favorite heroes to pick.
So I assume the Suyu is your second favorite after Cho being your first, or what?
Cho's always be my first, no matter what.
No, of course.
Doesn't sound weird at all.
General Cho loving Cho. But yeah, as we do see Lil Panda picking up the Faza and Zentaru picks up the Badang. So this is of course CC going to the side of Cavaliers. But Faza with a sprint is very interesting. Because I mean she already has the mobility with the Berry, so why do you need sprint?
I think maybe for the extra mobility when she moves with the bird form, she can just go through the walls back and forth, from mid lane to gold lane or to gank, or maybe that might be the strat. After clearing mid lane, she might use the bird form and gank gold lane, and when she's in trouble, she uses sprint to go through the walls with her bird form. Might be.
That might also be the case. True. But Cavaliers picking up the Gatu and the CC, both with Vengeance and Achilles. Knowing there's two Vengeance on the enemy side, he rather goes for the Clit.
Who's next?
So, I mean, if you see two Vengeance heroes on the side, you're not going to pick something like a Melissa, Mia, or Irithel, because Vengeance and Blade Armor heals any attack speed marksman.
Experience the youth.
That is true. So something like Burst will be the best option against Vengeance. Because even though you have Vengeance, Burst will be the best option, because Burst can she'll reflect damage, but Burst does do way more damage than, you'll struggle more with DPS than Burst.
Yeah, no, definitely. But of course, Zenjiro picking up the Julian. So Julian also very meta pick. But we do see the Sun and the Granger getting banned out. Killer Bottle picking up the Beatrix. And Steph Curry locking the Zask. So Beatrix also still a very strong contender even after her recent nerf. And Zask is a come or go. So Zask is one of those heroes. It can either work for your team or it does not. It depends on the player and on the team.
That is true. I remember in the pro scenes, I think Sans or Super France uses Zask, and he used the Zask really well with that flicker combo. As you can see, a Tigreal and a Julian pick. What side do you think has the better comp here?
So I love the side of Kakis. I mean, I'm a big fan of a Tigreal Roam, and especially with a Badang Falls-Up. So that 3 is a killer combination. I mean, if you see the Flick Implosion into the Badang first hit, first crack, and then Falls-Up just with a faded airstrike, that's an instant deletion. Along with that, you have the Julian to dive the backline, Clint just to burst everywhere. I mean, that's overall a very, very, very good draft in my opinion. But at the same time of point, you shouldn't count out Cavaliers just yet. I mean, the CC being able to backline dive, with the Gato being able to just sustain and get everything out of the way, the Avatar Guardian to re-engage. So you can't count anything out just yet, but I would say I would favor the Kakis team, as we do see both teams starting on the opposite side of the jungle with the blue buffs. So this might be an early rotation invade from the side of Kakis, as we do see Cavaliers, of course, just sticking to the usual old in gold rotation to the gold lane, as we know in South Africa.
But potentially they might gain the explain it because they know CC is going to be a problem in a team fight for Turtle. So they think maybe going to explain first might have them a little chance of winning the Turtle, winning the objective easily.
And along with that also, I mean, if you look at the either in the chance of a 1v1, CC wins the 1v1 against a Badang every time. But we do see the 3v1 in the top situation, CC going down, Julian committing the enhanced third skill, and of course CC getting taken down by the 3v1 split. At the same time, we do see the Suyu engaging onto the Clint. That's a 1-for-1 exchange, XP lane for gold lane. So both gangs were successful in that regard.
As we can see, Faster did use a sprint meanwhile in being in a team fight, and Julian doing a small invading in an enemy jungle. Is it a potential another gank on an XP?
This Tigreal just cutting out the damage and just falls back to the safety of his own home. I mean, this is a 4-3 split currently, but all teams are getting ready to set up for this Turtle. Of course, both junglers only being level 4. Tigreal only got level 3 now, so this is going to be a very hard team fight. But we see Suyo first taking his blue before he contested Turtle.
So we might see a little bit of, a retry battle competition. Well, Suyi does have faster burst, so he might win the Turtle fight free. Oh, Julian just feels the retry vision just in time. And then Suyi jumps into the first, stunning the father, cancelling her ult. And Zio City engagement onto top of the TP. But she managed to survive the best of the vengeance. And then Tiger and Julian can skip with 1 HP yet again.
Oh, we do see the skill shot onto the Tigreal going down. So that was once again just a 1-for-1 exchange. So currently both these teams are having a back and forth. I mean, we're only seeing a 300 gold lead to the side of Cavalier. So that's a very even playing field for both teams. So I think this is going to be a very, very exciting match, wouldn't you say?
No, I agree on that. After seeing that first team fight, how can I say? It's going to be really interesting after the one team fight. I think the second team fight at Turtle might be even more interesting since everyone has the ults, especially the Tigreal, the Gata, everyone has the ult. So the second team fight is going to be mad. It's going to be chaos.
I mean, the late game is definitely going to be interesting with that regard, but of course we do see both teams just setting up here the gold lane, not just engaging yet scouting out both teams as we do see, just poke here, poke there. No one just wants to commit the ults just yet. So both teams just currently...
Everyone playing a bit more safe, waiting for a neutral objective or waiting for someone to overextend, and they will just punish that person. So far, everyone's playing safe, playing together, but God, the goings of the ult misses that ult.
So I think that might have been I think he might have slipped on his finger and accidentally pressed that ult when he wanted to cancel, because that was nowhere near anyone. So that mistake might have cost him the turtle now, because we know Gato's ult, the Avatar of God, is not being up for the next about 50 to 60 seconds.
He caught the Natalia.
Yeah, he got the Natalia, yeah. But we do see the engagement here. The father, Feather SI going in. Zaz with a nice magic spawn. Implosion onto 4, but there's no follow-up. All the skills that's already been committed. So the Beatrix just bursting down everyone. As we do see that was a 2-for-nothing exchange to the side of Cavaliers. But Beatrix, greedy boy, flickers under the turtle and dies. So I don't know what... that was greed, and she got punished for that.
Like I said, the second team fight of Turtle, the chaos, and it was chaos. But unfortunately, Badang didn't do that rotation, and didn't let that even fair fight. So that was a quite struggle for the team on the red side.
Badang has a very hard lane against CC, so he'll take any opportunity he has to just clear the tower so he's able to rotate and not worry about losing his lane. So we might see him joining team fights and now in the future. But of course, this Tigreal had a 4-man set, but that was just too late. His team didn't have the discipline to wait for his set, and then there was no skills to follow up on that beautiful implosion. But of course, we do see both teams just rotating through the river, giving vision. I'm loving the discipline of both teams, not just committing everything on the first player they see. They know there's no vision on the rest of the players. Be patient and just wait.
I really do love this discipline and patience. And then genuinely think might be ganking the gold and surprising the Beatrix. But I seem soft and nothing. No, so far nothing's happening. Oh, but got camping for the Julian, a surprise attack.
Once again, just not committing.
This can be interesting because 4 versus 4. It might be but this comes with the steal for Rocket. And everyone
so that was a missed retry. So definitely both the junglers using the retry and no one winning the retry onto the turtle. So that was very interesting to see. But I'm also seeing the CC just zoning the Badang, making sure he doesn't join the team fight and keeping the team safe. I mean, as soon as that combination of the Badang Tigreal gets online, then we're going to see some danger.
But as we can see, looking at CC's damage, and then 2 going in with the farm. When Tigreal does the implosion, gets a set, got the jump in, and gets a got the in the turret, both the Zaz following up, but got the gets a punishment and then dies for exchange for 2 for 1.
Oh, so Gatu doing a very good job there of just keeping his team safe but dying in the process. So that was a beautiful engagement once again. The Tigreal just is second late, but of course Zaz going down to the Julian. Julian continuing this engagement against the CC, but she's just very sustainable and has the mobility to get away and not die in that regard. I mean, with the War Axe alone, she can just survive.
It's already been 8 minutes. Both teams have 6 to 6 kills, leading up to 12 kills in total. This is just how much discipline and patience they have in this game.
And I mean, it's already a 11k advantage to the side of Cavaliers, but it doesn't look like it. Both teams are quite even still in this regard. So I would like to see Cavaliers capitalizing on this massive gold lead Not massive, but I mean, 2K is already a big difference on that side. So they need to start capitalizing this gold league and start snowballing. That's what they need for their jungler.
But I think if Falz just get the nice items of burst, so you can start doing that extra burst damage to burst down anyone from far away.
Definitely, but with the next Lord being up, we do see Suyu does start the turtle. The 4-man of the side of Kaki's just waiting in the bush on the blue side buff, just giving vision, waiting for that beautiful engagement from the Tiger Girl. But Dang just blooming on top, not worrying about anything. Feathered airstrike onto the Lord. We do see that Julian steals the Lord from underneath the side of Cavaliers. Gator goes in, lands on no one, but we do see CC into the back line, going onto the Julian, but Julian escaping. So that was a beautiful 1-for-0 exchange to the side of Cavaliers. But at what cost? They lost the turtle. I would exchange the Lord for a roam any day.
I get on that.
But Dang with a beautiful first crack onto that Beatrix, shutting down the Beatrix as well. And that's just another death to the side. And once again, they are even.
The games have to turn around yet again, but since they did got the Lord, will they be able to defend it? Or will the red team be able to push 2 free lanes and get 1-2 turrets?
So we do see the team bundling up the top lane. I mean, the Clint wanted to push lane. He started a slow push and then rotating to the mid lane to help the father defend. But there's 3v3 here on the top lane with the Lord onto the turret. Are we going to see the Tiger Girl engage? Or no, they're just playing safe. They're waiting for the Faza massive damage. Faza commits the feather airstrike, just poking, waiting, getting them half health so they know if the Badang Tiger Girl goes in, they will be dead. Tiger Girl with a flicker implosion onto 2. Badang not quite there yet. Suyu escapes, but CC sacrifices herself and goes down. So that was a beautiful engagement from the side of Kaki's. Kaki's continuing the fight, taking down the Suyu. Beatrix running away. So that's a turret and a few kills to the side of Kaki's. Beautiful engagement from there.
We might manage to push this mid lane turret as well. But as we look in the goal, the Beatrix sniper. You clearly missed the point one.
That would have been beautiful.
That was clip of the day.
Definitely. I mean, she did hit a rocket barrage onto her. If she hit the snipe as well, I would have clipped that and made that my wallpaper for the next day. But once again,
as we can see, just putting a little bit of pressure on the golem. Tiger coming off the conceal. Is he going for a set? Seems not. He doesn't have that flicker yet, so he can't really get an engagement. So he has to be patient and be disciplined enough to get that flick of his before he can do any engagement.
Yeah, but loving seeing Kaki's just cutting the wave here, keeping the pressure, boxing down this turret as they do take out the turret. I mean, this Tiger Girl alone here has the ability to change the team fight. So everyone's scared of the Tiger Girl.
But as you can see now, the Lord is up and Suyu's pushing top lane. So this might be a free board for the team, for the red team.
Beautiful Avatar of Guardian landing onto everyone. A continuing engagement, curtain call from CC out. We do see the Badang with the first scratch, so that's currently a 1-for-1 exchange, 2-for-1 as Julian keeps the engagement going. So that was a beautiful, almost getting the Lord stolen underneath them, but just clutching out that red tree.
I agree on that. But it seems Julian might be pushing the gold lane more, or the second player. I think it's the X player, I'm not sure. So to get that extra even lane pressure, so you can push all 3 lanes together at once. As we can see, Lord is pushing at the top lane side. As we can see here, the builds, Julian almost having his full items, going for speed attack and lifesteal, and target of that fleeting time. So when you can see the highest gold for the blue team has Suyu with the upping with the 8,200 gold, and then Faza, no, it is but down with 9,000 gold. Can you believe that Zunzi, an extra lane, has the most gold in the team?
So that's actually the Julian with the most gold and the Beatrix, yeah. But either way, I mean, the gold lane are not having the most gold. That tells you something. I mean, that's a very skill from the side of Zenjira on the Julian. I mean, his plays has been clutch all throughout the game, putting pressure where it's needed. He's currently 5-1 and 2. So that's, I mean, an 80% team fight advantage to them.
As you can see, Tiger does have this flicker and also he might go for the engagement here. His team is with him, waiting patiently. So he might see an epic set here from the Tiger. Look at him just bouncing around left and right. Julian trying to bait out the Vast Purify so he can get that clean set.
So, of course, with the Zast Purify, I mean, his second skill on that Night Beric spawn does stun, so that can interrupt the Tigreal combo as well. So that's something they need to get out of the way before they full commit. I mean, there is another 50 seconds onto the Lord, so a mistake here might be costly. As we do see the Julian engage onto the CC getting melted down. The Beatrix also half health. We do see the flicker committed by the Tigreal. Flicker implosion onto 2. We do see the Badang and the Faza committing their ultimates and getting another kill. So that didn't go their way. I mean, that's 4 for nothing has changed as we do see them continuing the engagement on the Julian. So that was a full set under the turret, but just not enough damage.
It all leads up to that Zask Purify. But it seems he didn't use Purify. So that means he timed his ult perfectly to get that into his ulti immune and then dives in the backline and just finish off everyone.
That was a beautiful play from the side of Cavaliers. I mean, that mistake, they are capitalizing off the mistake, taking the Lord uncontested. I mean, the jungler and the most of the team are not up yet. So that's an uncontested Lord. So this might just be the game changer that Cavaliers was waiting for.
This is either a GG or this might be a defend. Because no one has the flicker except the Badang to do it initiating. So this match is all about the Badang doing initiating first, so everyone will do the follow-up.
Oh, but we did see the avatar of... Not quite landing on mark, but they did defend the tier 3 turrets as well. But there is engagement here on the Zast, but he still keeps the Purify. So this Zast knows when to use the Purify. But I see the top lane tier 2 turrets still standing, but the base, the holy shields not being there might be the change they need. I mean, after 12 minutes, the holy shields falls away.
But as we can see, the Lord is still quite far from spawning. So what do you think, if you were a team from the blue side, what would you do in this current situation?
So with them having the gold need, they need to set up a 4-1 split. So they need to put pressure on the top lane with the threat of taking the tier 2 turret. And then they send the Beatrix, or I would send the Suyu to the bot lane. So while everyone's focused on the top lane, not dying, Suyu just goes to the bot lane and just split pushes. So they can get the pressure all around the map while waiting for the objective.
Now I would agree on that. Because now someone needs to either go defend bottom lane and defend a last inhibitor turret, or to either sacrifice it and defend the second turret at top lane. It's better to sacrifice it than losing your last turret.
I would also give up the second turret rather than the inhibitor, but both teams having very disciplined rotations. But I'm waiting for this Tigreal, so he has the full combination, so he must have the patience. Lord is up in 38 seconds, so if he pulls the trigger now, this might just be a mistake or a win for the side of Kaki. So that's going to make or break the team fight, as you know, with Tigreal.
So this game isn't all about this game isn't all about what can I say? It's all about using the skills at the right time, patience, and follow-up. is, let's say if Tiger uses ult, who's gonna follow up? Who's gonna bait skill? Who's gonna sacrifice himself for the team fight?
Well, that's very, very important. I mean, the right timing is everything in a team fight. But we do see the Lord going up. So that's 5 members from the side of Karki's being in position, but only 4 from Cavaliers. So CC split pushing, trying to get that top tier 2 turret down before they take the Lord. So this is going to be just a Lord dance around. And it is, of course, the 18-minute Lord. So this is the game-changing Lord. So this is a make or break in the team fight. We do see, of course, the curtain call from CC going out, flicker implosion on 2, but we do see the feathered airstrike and the Gatsu catcher with the avatar of Guardian. So this is, of course, once again a 1-for-2 exchange to the side of Cavaliers. But they did give up the Lord in that exchange. So this was a Lord for the side of Karki's, but at what cost?
It did not look well for the red team. Not red team, the blue team. Since they did lose the Lord and the team did got stunned and set by the Tiger.
Oh.
So
Beautiful engagement from this Badang. First crack onto the wall. Suyu gets melted down. So that was beautiful. That evens the playing field for them.
But as you can see, Clint is pushing the bottom lane while Lord is pushing the top lane. So this one might be a hard defense, but if you can see, Beatrix did spawn, so they have a little bit of hope to get up the Lord, because Beatrix late game's burst damage, especially for a rocket, like that's lots of damage.
But we do see Faza committing the feathered edge, like just zoning the players, but the Beatrix, hits a snipe onto the Badang, but after all, Clint going down, taking down the Beatrix, so that's a 1-for-nothing exchange. So the Clint is definitely online, doing massive amounts of damage. As the mid lane inhibitor goes down from Julian and top lane as well. So Gatsu just defending the bot lane while his team is busy there. But we did see a sneaky wind of nature here onto the Natalia as he does fall back. So this is, of course, going to be a very tough defense. We did see Zaz commit his Nightmaric spawn. So that's no ult for him if he gets into trouble.
In this case situation, it's still a unpredictable match. One mistake can cost the whole game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with the Lord being up in 20 seconds, this is the max enhanced Lord as well. So both teams need to reset and get into position. But this Faza getting caught out by the Sulian, taken to half health. So I would like the red team just to fall back, zone the enemy and start setting up for this Lord.
This is gonna be a big team fight. That I can tell.
But I'm liking the position of the CC coming in from the side, getting to the backline immediately. So this is going to be a very good team fight coming up. Rocket barrage and the critical from the CC up. We do see the Badang landing the stun. Faza with a feather airstrike. Gatsu onto 4, Avatar of Guardian. Implosion onto 1. So this is a beautiful team fight from Cavaliers. They continue this team fight. Beatrix going down and clutch conceal from the Tigreal gets him to safety. So Suyu engaging and he freezes himself. So that's the Suyu on 1 health.
Yes, he is capable of 1 health, but exchange, no one died except for the red team.
Yeah, so that's a 3-for-nothing exchange. The Lord did reset, but the Dang here trying to contest with no retry.
So it seems it's going to be a free Lord for the team of the blue side. See you just building up that sustain. But
So that was beautiful.
So it might be GG for the red team because right now they have no Lord, but they have hope. They have 3 turrets, but they have an extra turret at the top lane side. So that gives them a little bit of hope for them to have that extra defense. But what do you think, Spencer? What would you do in a situation after losing this Lord?
So I would just set up. So I would sneak Tigreal into a bush at the back line. Just wait for them to move past him and then flicker from the backside, because they need a full team set from the Tigreal to be able to defend this. So just stay patient. Don't overextend. Don't get it. Just stay under the turret. Get the Lord in the turret and play safe. Is what I would say. But we do see Gato committing the Avatar of God and Su going out, taking down the Badang. Faza with a feathered airstrike, and we do see, of course, CC going in and finishing up the Tigreal. So this is a 2-for-0 exchange, and the Lord barreling down. So that's another immortality committed, and that is game, set, and match. So what a beautiful match from both teams. That was zigzag all the way to the end. I mean, I didn't know who was going to take it.
No, I agree with you. And that match was 24 minutes long. The longest game for the whole night, I think. And this is only best of one.
That's best of ones. So I have to say, Cavaliers taking the revenge, as we did see, of course, Kaki's having the win previously over Cavaliers, but Cavaliers, where it matters in the sudden death, they take the victory.
As we can see, Zosk only died once. That's impressive. That's impressive.
Zosk is very good. I mean, he has a sustainability to be able to go in, get out, and do massive amounts of damage in the to the backline with that all of these. But GG to both teams. But we, of course, do head into the final match now. So this is the final match for the sudden death of the most wanted list. So we do see, of course, top 1 going up against Imperium in this best of 1.
Well, that's going to be an interesting game, actually. Don't you think, Sunji?
Definitely. But I mean, I can't wait to see. I mean, top 1 did show their dominance in the previous games, but against Imperium, they're taking the previous sweep as well. So this is going to be a very, very good game that's coming up.
I agree. But what do you think would I need to ban against top 1? Seeing that Shushan went for the Hayabusa, went crazy on Hayabusa as well. So I think they might as well, depending who they're playing against. So thinking of maybe banning the Hayabusa, Fanny, or something that's gonna split them up. Especially if it's gonna die the backline.
So I would personally, I wouldn't focus too much on one player, and rather focus on what your team is comfortable with. So, I mean, even if you go for the full draft and you ban out all Shu's heroes, but they have other heroes that your team can't play against, like Zushin or Sicilian, then you're in a lot of trouble. But I would say they need at least to take out at least 2 of his heroes, maybe the Fanny and the Joy, I would say.
And then I just need lockdown for the Hayabusa. No lockdown, Hayabusa just roam free around the map, do whatever he needs. And just go crazy.
So a very good hero that you can play against the Hayabusa is, of course, Badang or something like a Joy, the Franco. Also very, very good hero. Anything that can lock the Hayabusa down is a very good pick in response.
I agree. When was the last time you saw Franco actually?
It's been a while. It's been actually a few seconds. Wow, when last was the time I saw him on? I saw him on a ranked match yesterday, but other than a ranked match on stream, it's been a few months, I think.
Well, what can you say? Franco's not above a hero that it's a hero you need to learn how to predict. That's a hero. That's the type of hero he is. You have to predict. He's not a hero you can't just hook and do whatever. Then the easiest part of him is just to flicker and ult. But the hardest part is prediction with his hooks. If you can't predict, you can't play Franco.
No, definitely. I mean, I've seen killer hooks on Fanny's mid cables getting pulled back into the Franco, but I've seen hooks that can't even land on someone that's standing still. So you need to be able to know how the enemy plays for you to predict that hooks.
Mm. That's why
So,
you
but-
always play skills with your second skill, and that is stomp. When you see how they move, and if you see, okay, they're still moving in one direction, don't take the bait, so hook where they're going to go, or just hook in the middle, and they'll just walk straight into it. Simple.
Yeah, but that's either make or break. I mean, along with that also, there is you need to be watch out because Franco's not a front line. He's more of a pick off roamer. So you need someone on the X lane that's able to front line for the team in his stead as well.
That is true. That is true. But depending, if they're all going for like a pick off comp, then yeah, sure, maybe one front line is enough, and then maybe like an extra burst, like 3-2 burst heroes that can follow up the Franco, like a Fanny, a Suyu, a Joy, a Julian. Someone can burst out of the Franco, like the hook, and then follows up instant burst. You can't escape.
Oh, no, that's very, very important. But we will see what the teams are going for now. But we do, of course, see top one landing first in the lobby, getting the heads or tails, calling heads, but it lands on tails. And Imperium choosing to go left. So that's first pick, first ban to the side of Imperium. But they are currently missing one member. So it's going to give them a... Say again?
What does this one member that's missing? Okay, never mind. He is here. Never mind.
Oh, Mini. So Mini also a very good player. I've seen Mini play quite a few times, as well as Overlord and Adrianina. So Imperium also very, very good players to their side. So as we do have Imperium calling the first bans.
What do you think are they going to ban against top one?
I would ban the Joy, and I would maybe ban something like a Zushin or a Granger, something I would also ban out. But we have seen a lot of Phaser features, so maybe even a Phaser ban, I don't know.
Something that, if your teammates struggle with or against this, if they struggle against a chip or a Cho, and they know the enemy team plays it, don't risk it and just ban it. Don't make their life hard. Make it easy.
I agree. I would also suggest, before banning random meta picks, first ban something your team can't play against. I mean, if you know your team can't play against a Balric, ban the Balric. Make comfortable picks for your team. But we do see, of course, Imperium banning out the Zushin and the Kalia. Top one going for the Lucas and Cecilion. So these are very, very good teams from both sides. I mean, both have a marksman, mid laner. And of course, we do see the Lucas Kalia both being meta picks in the current stage.
That is true. But I'm thinking of what first pick is going to be. It's going to be a flex pick, like a Granger, Gato, Khalid, something like that. Or they're going for a straight Fanny pick, comfort pick.
I would say, because of course, top one and Imperium know each other. So I would say Fanny first pick might not work with the players of Imperium, but we do see both of them banning out the marksmans with the Granger and the Melissa. So of course, Granger, as we know, is a very meta pick. It's a pick or ban in most cases. He does have the Irithel or Harith counter, but if Granger snowballs, you're in a lot of trouble.
The only way to counter a Granger is mobility.
And as they ban one of the mobility heroes with a higher booster getting taken out, so no shadow kill for the side of top one. They saw the previous match, they said, higher booster, no thank you, and they banned him out.
Yeah. High booster is strong, still strong. After even the nerf is still strong, in my opinion. But it can be easily locked down if you time strings right.
Also, after the nerf, they did make him a bit more item dependent. But even after that, if he gets full stacks onto the enemy, throws out the shadow kill, he will still take you down. But of course, CC being the final ban to the side of top 1.
Who's next?
And Overlord going for the Sun first pick. And it looks like this is a Sun jungle. What do you think about that first pick?
Well, Sun, in my opinion, okay, Sun after the nerf, he fell off. He fell off quite badly, especially his damage of his third skill. They adjusted him from fire to doing more burst, so crit is not the best, idea of him, but more burst. So for now, I don't think Sun was the best pick, but depending on the player, how he plays the hero, it might work out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Sun is a very, very good pick in the right hands. But as a first pick, I don't know. It might work, might not. But we do see him switching over to Inspire. So opting not to take the Petrify, as we know, most Suns players going. And we do see Adrianina picking up their signature Ixia. Sweps going with the Irithel and Blackie on the Phaser. So we do see another Phaser pick up here. And another Cyclops pick. So we of course see the meta slowly being formed here around the majors. Phaser being a beautiful, beautiful ult. Something to be reckoned with. And there's Shoeshine, the Fanny finally getting picked up.
As we said, if Hayabusa what enjoy whoever's banned, then Fan is coming up. Or even if the heroes are open, right? If we see the opportunity to pick the Fanny, we will pick the Fanny.
And as the third pick, after the Fanny pick, they can have their ban. They ban out the Kufra, one of the major Fanny counters. So Kufra not in the picture, so that's one of the counters out. So I'm loving this Fanny game.
So what can really count against this Fanny is like a knock up or something like lock her down like a Cho, an Edith, maybe got the but it's gonna be risky. Something like an standard instantly. Like Cho I think Cho is the best option right here to pick against the Fanny and against the comp I have right now.
Oh, that's another counter pick we haven't seen in quite a while. Gacha, also as you know, that suppression is one of Fanny's weaknesses. So if you get the ult onto the Fanny, she is locked down. And then you can just burst her away. But is it going to lock into the Gacha? That is the question.
Oh, another counter pick. Saber. Now that's unfortunately for Shoeshine on the Fanny. But if they play the cast right, then Matilda does put the pressure in the enemy jungle. Then Fanny's gonna, swing around in the jungle, get the kills, mania, chaos, lots of stuff is gonna happen.
Yeah, that's all comes down to the players.
So Shoeshine, top 1 and them needs to put the pressure on before Saber and Kaja gets that level 4.
So with Kaja and Saber having a very weak early game, I'm looking to see an early game invade here from the side of top 1, with them having the Khalid, the Matilda and the Fanny with the Fars on top of that. That's a definite engage, if I would say.
I agree on that. I do agree on that. They have no lockup, they have no lockdown for a Fanny at level 1 or level 2. So this will be the best opportunity for Fanny to snowball.
But we do see, of course, both teams starting on the side of the XP. So Fanny going for her red and Saber going for his blue. But the Khalid already going in level 1, already putting pressure there on the buff, but decided to go back. So with Fanny starting a red, this might not be a level 2 engage as we thought it might be.
So it means that we're gonna take the safe way. Fanny's gonna take a farm, get the buff, get bubble buff, and then maybe then start playing aggressive.
The disciplined way.
But Erixia has to use his flicker just to escape this burst from the Phaser. And then Kaja getting this nice damage pick up from the Irithel and the Phaser. Like we said earlier in the conversation, Phaser is not the hero you want to mess with, especially in the early game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as soon as she has 2 items, she's online and gets a ton of damage. But we do see this Fanny going to the jungle, getting level 4, stealing the buff, and Cutthroat out, cutting down the Saber, continuing the fight onto the Kaja, but not getting the Kaja kill, and they decide to disengage. So Fanny with a beautiful engage there, stealing the buff, the Lava Golem on the level 3, knowing she will get level 4 and then continue the engagement. Beautiful.
And Saber's still not level 4 yet. And then Sushan gets that nice pick off on the Sun in the XP lane, and then Khalid is putting pressure in the jungle, delaying the Saber's level 4. Getting that nice pick off on the Cyclops. Well done from the team of top 1. Delaying and getting that nice pick off.
They continue the engagement onto the Kaja. Kaja barely escaping. So this is something I love about a Khalid. His early game damage without any items is devastating.
I agree on that. You can't really do anything against a Khalid when you have no like CC or like no cup for him. His mobility is like on point. You can't do anything against him.
But while we were seeing the blue buff getting invaded, we do see, of course, Ixia getting solo killed by the Irithel. Saber just falling back, trying to get some of his farm, while he knows Fanny is stealing most of it. 4v1 on the top lane. Sun goes down once again. So the Sun is not having a good time in that top lane.
As you can see, there might be a pick off in the mid lane. Oh, but Cut doesn't have that ult. That's not an ult, that's flicker, so he can't engage properly. But it seems Saber's camping for the gold lane, so it might be a pick off. Saber's just patiently.
But this Irithel knows something is up and playing very safe. We do see the triple slash out from the Saber. Ixia with a full barrage. Faza with a feathered airstrike. We do see Fanny just zing-zinging around, swinging and getting taken down by the Ixia. Ixia with a double kill onto the Irithel. So she's just waiting here. That is a 2-for-1 exchange to the side of Imperium. Faza though, just heading up. Oh, but the sustain from the Ixia.
Oh. Wow,
beautiful.
That's something else. And Matilda just tried to survive. It's barely escaped. Oh, but gets punished by the Sun. And then Cyclops barely survives. And no, wait. Khalid jumps with the flicker ult and managed to kill the Cyclops. But will Khalid survive this? Will he? No, he won't. Saber gets the pick off with his ult, but Irithel's right here to clean up and saying, hey, where you going? You killed my Khalid? No, I'm killing you. Roam for roam.
That's beautiful. But while all that action is going on, this Fanny's once again taking the blue buff away from the Saber. This Saber hasn't had a blue buff since the first one.
That is true. Fanny already taking like 3 purple buffs, man. And Saber's taking his red buff, just got level 7. This might be a free turtle. Or this might be a heal. Because Carter does have his flicker and ult, so this might be a good engagement.
Carter getting bursted down by the Irithel, but the Matilda getting the kill. Fanny into the mix, Cutthroat out, and she gets another kill onto the Cyclops. So that is of course a 2-for-0 exchange to the side of top 1. They continue this rotation to the gold lane, XP lane, getting the pressure onto the Sun, but not enough damage as of yet. So top 1 having a very, very dominant performance on this early game. But we do see the Saber with a triple sweep onto the Faza, with the full team following up. Saber 1 HP, Fanny running away. So that was a 1-for-1 exchange. It's the mid laner for the XP.
And Saber barely escaped with 1 HP, but Khalid just picks him off just defensive. But Cyclops coming in. But Cyclops coming to clearing. Will Fanny survive? No, Fanny escaped with 1 HP. And then Matilda just saved the Khalid. Man, Matilda's really doing something with him.
Yeah, Matilda is a very, very good hero to have in your draft. I mean, if you see Equilibrium play, they always ban the Matilda because, I mean, with the Matilda Airways, you never know when you're going to survive, when you're going to get out. So that's a very good hero to have in your arsenal.
As you can see, Matilda engaging with the ult and managed to stun the Cyclops and the Kaja and managed to get the 2 pick off. Well done from the Matilda and the ult stage. I wonder if it's a damage Matilda or support damage Matilda. It might be both.
It's currently the usual build, going for the Flask of Aces first item and the Enchanted Talisman second item. But we do see them going for this top lane turret, but getting melted down. This Matilda's ult gets committed at no avail. So this is the first tier 1 for the side of top 1, getting taken down into the top lane. Oh, and the bot lane, sorry, this is the second tier 1.
But it seems this might be a free turtle once again for the side of top 1.
No, this is very, very good performance from top 1. They having the discipline to go for the objectives and go for kills where it counts. So not overextending the kills and just taking, but we do see the Zabe in the mid push onto the Faza, triple sweep, Purify out. We do see the full barrage into the feathered airstrike. Saber taking out the Matilda, but now Fanny's in the mix. Carter going down. We do see the Sandstorm from the Khalid taking down the Ixia. So that's a 2-for-1 exchange to the side of top 1. But Khalid continuing the engagement, taking out the Sun and gets back. Beautiful, beautiful plays.
That's impressive. The blue team side, most of them died. On the side of top 1, only 1 died, and that was Matilda. Now that just shows how much of the team fight might happen, but you just the players have that outplay mechanic skills not to survive team fight. Now that is something.
But I mean, even with top 1 having a 12 kill advantage, they only have a 3k gold lead. So that's not a lot of gold for the side of top 1. So they need to start focusing on this objectives to get a bigger gold lead. Matilda going in with the ult, Fanny into the mix, full barrage getting committed with a flicker, feathered airstrike from the Faza. So that's a 1-for-nothing exchange. The Kaja getting taken down. But the Saber is just camping, waiting for the opportunity to take out this Faza.
Yeah, but from the set of the Matilda, but Khalid just sustained through everything. But Khalid comes in with the Alter Sandstorm and then managed to kill the Saber, and then Sun is escaped with more than half HP. Man, if you don't have anti-heal against a Khalid and a Matilda, you can't kill them. You can't.
Yeah, and there's a Matilda with a Revitalize on top of that also, but we do see the Feathered Airstrike going out onto the Kaja. Kaja just barely escaping. And of course, this is the uncontested Lord of most of the part, but this Khalid still in the mix, just surviving through everything. Matilda into the mix with a full barrage being committed as well. Kaja getting taken down. So that's a 1-for-nothing exchange. So top 1 just need to regroup, recoup and recover and get ready for this Lord push.
And as you can see, Saber getting his first purple buff. Wow.
No, it doesn't. Faza steals the buff.
And it's managed to kill the Matilda and Saber escapes. Wow. Wow. Now that's unfortunate. But then Fanny's managed to pick up the Sun at the top lane, but will Khalid survive? No. He gets altered by the Kaja underneath the turret.
So that's all ult out from Imperium. So this is going to be a bit of a break coming in. So they're going to hopefully just wave manage now and just defend. I mean, Team Imperium doesn't have the luxury to overextend at this stage. They need to defend all their lanes.
But as we can see the builds here, none of them really have anti-heal except the Kaja. So that might be the problem why they are struggling to win team fights.
I mean, the Sun is busy currently with his, and the Ixia is busy with his. Okay, everyone is busy with it. You see the Cyclops busy with the glowing lantern and the Sea Halberd for the Ixia and the Sun, but it might be just too late, as we do see the Faza and the Matilda just jumping into the back line and melting down that Ixia.
That is the Matilda, like, is such a freaking annoying hero to, like, especially for ult. You can't cancel an ult without timing your mobility skill, like dash skill. Let's say a higher booster, but never mind. Look at this engagement coming up from the Khalid ult, getting that sandstorm in. Can't manage to skip a 1 HP, but no, he just dives still to the Eratal, and Fanny just comes and gets the pick off on the Cyclops. 2 for nothing. Will they be able to end the game? No, but Exa managed to defend with the ult, and everyone escapes. Wow, what a defense from the side of the blue team.
But the triple C from the...
Re-engaging from the Fanny, and this is GG for the side of top 1. Wow,
So-
what a engagement and a retreat and a re-engagement. Now that was something.
Beautiful. Yeah, definitely. I mean, overall, there was a beautiful game from both teams, but the Sun split pushing and then not deciding not to recall while there's 4 players on his base, that might have been the mistake that cost Imperium the game.
But as you can do see here, Sun was pushing the most out of everyone. 63%. Now that's a lot. Not really much in team fights, but he was pushing a lot. Even if he did push a lot, he couldn't really push a lot because of the people putting pressure on each lane's XP gold, so Sun couldn't really do anything.
No, but GG's to both teams. But after all said and done, top 1 just showing their dominance, being the better team for tonight and taking the dub. So that has been a very, very interesting games we had tonight.
No, I agree on that. And also, not just that, I haven't been casting for such a long while, and now I'm back. So it was really fun and really enjoying this casting once again, especially watching the team plays, what they do, and it's really, I really enjoyed casting with you, Surumzi.
It was a pleasure having you, Joe, and I hope we do that again in the future. But with that being said, I want to thank all the teams for that participate tonight, showing us what you've got, and most importantly, our viewers. Thank you for watching us and supporting the Waylander streams. Don't worry, we won't be long forgotten. We will be here next week once again for another action-packed week of Mobile Legends and PUBG.
Thank you for Surumzi.
Okay, finish your sentence there, Joe. Finish your sentence there, Joe.
Okay. I just want to say thank you so much for us casting. I really enjoyed it. Now I said it, but I really did. Thank you, Wellington, for making this time as well, and all the streams. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, you can say whatever you want to say, Wellington. Go ahead.
With permission being granted to me by General Cho.
Permission granted. Young.
So we're gonna conclude the streams for the evening. It's been an exciting, very busy evening. I would like to say well done to both of you. I personally enjoyed listening to both of you cast. Very informative, calling out the actions and shots on point. I did love the intense discussion of strategy that was occurring throughout the course of the game, and I'm sure the viewers at home would have liked that too. So for the week ahead, we do have a couple of PUBG streams coming up, which will be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday for all you PUBG maniacs out there. Mobile Legends will be back in the mix. We will be concluding or getting close to the knockout stages here in the most wanted list, and as well as the Deuce EX. Maybe we'll see General Cho in the Deuce EX this coming Wednesday, and Shroomzy. His team is still to play in the most wanted list, so it's going to be Eschaton Sonata that we will see on Wednesday, and either Saturday or Sunday it will be Immortal Order in the most wanted list. So a lot of excitement coming through. Thank you everybody for tuning in to watch. But from myself, Waylander, Shroomzy, General Cho, we're gonna have to say goodbye and good night. We will catch you all on the next stream. Thank you for watching.